The way is a person. They didn't need a map, they needed him. They're afraid. Jesus just told them that he's going away. One of them is going to deceive him. Peter's going to deny him. The room was filled with confusion and fear. So Jesus speaks, not with hype, not with empty comfort, but with a promise that cuts through darkness with a sword. Verse 14:1, he says, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me." He doesn't promise that they won't suffer, and he doesn't promise that they won't fall. He promises himself. Jesus says in verse 3, "And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am." And Thomas speaks up in verse 5 and says, "Lord, we don't know where you are going, so how can we know the way?" Jesus doesn't hand him directions. He gives him a destination with a heartbeat. Verse 6, Jesus says, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." Did you catch that? Jesus doesn't say, "I'll show you the way." He says, "I am the way." You don't need a map when you have a guide. You don't need a formula when you have the truth. You don't need to chase life when life himself comes to you. And then Philip says, "Lord, show us the Father," in which Jesus looks him right in the eyes and replies in verse 9, "Don't you know me, Philip, even after I have been among you such a long time? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father." If you want to know what God looks like, look at Jesus. Not your church wounds, not your opinions, not your feelings. Look at Jesus, because the God of the universe is not hiding. He came close, and he gave himself a name: the way, the truth, the life. You don't need to figure it all out. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a person. So stop chasing a path and start following Jesus, because the way to the Father isn't a route, it's a relationship. Armor up. Be the light. God bless.